Can you see me? Can you hear me? You're on the floor with Eleosaurus, and you're actually very far away from me today because I don't have any other way to set my camera up. Because the other day, I broke my tripod inside of my camera. Like the little, it's like a metal piece, like snapped inside the screw part. So now it's just like full with this random piece of plastic, so I can't even get a new tripod to like screw into it because it's just like the whatever though. I just figured today it'd be useful to talk about controlling our emotions and how to control our emotions, which I guess is pretty ironic coming from me considering I have BPD and I don't really know how to control my emotions too well. But I think that's also why it kind of works in a way, because then, you know, you're not getting this information from somebody who doesn't deal with it and doesn't actually need to properly learn these things. Like, it would be different if you were receiving this information from somebody who has a super secure, healthy attachment and they've known how to control their emotions from day one. Like, they've never known anything different, as opposed to somebody who doesn't know how to control their emotions, like, struggles with that a lot and now is trying to offer some words of wisdom on what to do in the meantime. I had a little bit of different ideas for topics and stuff for today. Like, in general, I still really would love to do one on like being a woman, womanhood, motherhood, religion, stuff like that. Like very cliche, usual podcast subject types, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that for today, in relation with the full moon as well too, it's just necessary to learn how to properly control our emotions, release our emotions, stuff like that. And so yeah, it's just like all very aligned, and that's usually what I do either which way, is that like if I feel like I need to talk about something sooner, then I will. So that's the case for today. The reason behind why I decided though is because yesterday a situation occurred where I was just like, okay, I need to just get a hang of this. I need to not let this like take up any more of my energy than it already has, like not give it any more time of day, like not even just like don't stoop as low to how I have in previous situations, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason to stoop as low anymore because it's just like it's not necessary. And then again today my emotions kind of got super flared up, and that plus I think it's a good time frame for it because I'm supposed to have like my period next week, so it's like, you know, how would women all go through those phases. I think right now it's considered the luteal phase or whatever, so that's like PMS week, stuff like that. And for the most part I feel fine, but it's just that I've been getting ticked off really easily lately, just very, very easily, and it takes a lot to have to just sit there and not think about it too much, and to not take it to heart, to not put it on my pillow with me as I go to sleep at night, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, really. Let me just give you some of the things. Like, for instance, I had to go do some stuff today, and I thought that I was going to be able to do the things, and then, you know, hey, I mean, it's still Mercury retrograde, right? Just the start of it. So plans and travel and all that stuff is never going to go well during this time frame. And do I feel a little bit upset that I didn't get to like go buy some toiletry items? Yeah, I'll be honest, like a little bit, but it's genuinely not a big deal. I'm understanding that I have to just take it day by day. And I was telling one of my friends about this too, that I was saying how yesterday, you know, I had such a great day. I did all the things that I needed to, like got it all done. And then today I had a few more things that I would have liked to do. And I think that's why it's half okay, half still discouraging, right? Because, you know, when we get a plan in our heads and it doesn't go according to plan, it's, for the most part, I don't see how other people wouldn't like react negatively towards that. All I've ever known is to react negatively towards situations like that. Like, if I have a certain idea in my head about how something's gonna go and it doesn't go that way, I don't know how to not deal with it. So I think that's another thing in itself about learning how to control our emotions and to control situations. And, you know, whether you know or not, I've started to become a little bit more spiritual, more faithful. And honestly, I was joking with my friends that like now I'm like talking to God just as like some silly little joke that happened. Like literally basically almost every single thing in my life has just been a silly little joke of one way or another. So that's not entirely true though. Don't twist my words. If you deal with like crazy emotions and like you're one way this way and then the other way, and it's like we have to just sit back and try to just breathe it out. And I definitely think that having somebody to talk to helps, having a therapist helps like so much. Like I definitely recommend therapy so much. Like I am so glad that I'm in this journey with therapy in itself, and I just think it's first off, like you're talking to some random person that doesn't know you, but you get to talk about yourself. But anyway, as I was saying, today it kind of not really pissed me off, but I could feel myself starting to get upset again. You know what I'm saying? I could feel those emotions roaring back up, like that anger of like, I didn't get to do this today, and so now my day is completely ruined, and now it's just like, I'm never gonna get this, and I'm never gonna get that, never, blah, blah, blah. First off, let's just hold the phone right there. The fact that I would even get into that headspace to be like, no, I can never get these dish pods or whatever, like blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, then I'm never gonna get them. You know? It's like, that's just clearly not true. Like the dishwasher pods, the other things on my grocery list, that's just like the top number one that I need. But I'm never in a lack either. Like I'm never in a lack, because yesterday I had found in the back of my drawer 2 dishwasher pods. I don't really run my dishwasher that often anyway, and I've been hand washing these a little bit more just so I can kind of save time until I can go to the store again. And most likely, all I know, I'm gonna go to the store tomorrow and I'll be able to pick it up, and like it'll be fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think that initial moment, that initial shock, is sometimes hard for me and other people to deal with, because we get that certain idea going in for our day of what like we want to do and how we think that it's all going to go out, and we're going to be like, okay, so I'm going to drive here, and I'm going to do this, and then I'll do this, and then I'll be back over here to do this. And it's like, it doesn't always work that way. It doesn't always work that way. That's, you know, and I think that's why I was starting to kind of bring myself back down to reality and stuff and be okay with things and accept it, because like I said yesterday, I did so many things. I cleaned my whole entire room, I picked up a lot of my apartment, I like brought recycling downstairs, I did the dishwasher, I did some loads of laundry, like I did a lot yesterday. I took a shower, I'm pretty sure I went outside for something. Yeah, I took a nice little walk. Like I did so much stuff yesterday, and then today it was just kind of leftover bits and pieces, and it's just I didn't really get to do the things that I wanted to do. But that's okay, because honestly, I did get to go and get coffee from Dunkin', and if I was being sponsored from Dunkin', that would actually be a perfect segue. But I will obtain that sponsorship, and then I will tell you what is inside my Dunkin' iced coffee. Hint, hint, it's actually just pumpkin, because it's pumpkin season, and I think Dunkin' actually has one of the best flavors for pumpkin. I just think it's so good, but it also might just be like a nostalgia thing. It just reminds me of like going to my uncle's house. I think it's either usually, no, it would have to be the first weekend after school, or like a good few weekends after school, right? My dad and my uncles would all kind of like gather around during like football season. We would go to I think we would mostly go to my Uncle John's house for Patriots games, and then like me and my cousins would all get together, and I can just kind of picture and remember us all just like sitting on the floor watching, not really watching the TV, but like, you know what I'm saying? We would all just be sitting on the floor in front of the TV doing our homework, and I don't know, it was just nice. Like, whenever there was an opportunity for me to get together with like my dad's side of the family, my cousins and stuff, I feel like I really did try to take it most of the time, just because like I love and appreciate them all so much. Like I really do eventually want to make an episode just talking about being Portuguese and like Portuguese culture and stuff, but I think that's going to be the one with religion in it because of the way that the religion has affected me. Any which way though, like as I was saying, this is not even about any of that. It's just more so that I don't even know if this is like a podcast anymore or if this is like a straight up open diary, and if people can like choose to listen to it, then that's cool and great, and if they relate to stuff, then that's even better, you know what I'm saying? But I think that, I don't know, let's see, how do I control my emotions? How do I control my emotions? And maybe this will, like, I can teach myself this and I'll actually be able to watch it back eventually. But I think the ways that I control my emotions is, sometimes you gotta just, like, talk to a wall, or, like, talk to the sky, or even just doing this, like, just talking to a camera, and if you want to upload it, like, be my guest, go right ahead. But if you don't, then that's fine, take it and delete it. But I think that sometimes that's better than doing it to the actual people, because 9 times out of 10, like when you're super emotional, everything's just heightened, and you say a lot of things that you probably don't exactly mean overall. And does it make it any less frustrating? No, of course not. But it's a lot better than always being in arguments with people and like having added stress and anxiety for no reason, when instead you could just, like, I don't want to say shut up, but that's what I like thought. Like, yeah, I don't know. Journaling is obviously a great way to get a handle on your emotions too. I know everybody says journaling, and journaling is one of those like super, I don't want to say taboo subjects, but the one everybody has heard to journal at least once or twice, right? So who am I to suggest journaling? You know, like everybody's heard it, but genuinely I think that journaling can be a good thing. And I think that it's perfectly fine if you want to have multiple journals for different things. But one thing that I've had to use for myself and to like get over and to allow myself to start journaling is to just go for it. My biggest problem before was that whenever I went to journal, I always thought that I had to write about something, or I had to use up a certain amount of the paper to actually make it seem like a good entry. 9 times out of 10, if I'm only using a small section of the paper, I'll just put a different day right underneath of it, and that'll be that. But now when I journal, like sometimes I just say like 2 sentences, sometimes I say a paragraph, sometimes I start it, and I don't really know where I'm going with it, and then eventually down the line I end up writing 1 or 2 pages because I'm just like, oh, okay, this is what I've actually been trying to say the whole time. Like, you kind of have to just stop thinking that your journal's going to be read by everybody. You know, like it's not. It's your journal. Like I said, just put that energy into something else. You know, sometimes even if you gotta just like sing it, like, or like, I don't know. Because I was venting to my mom about one of it, and then it was just like, I would remember something and I would kind of start to say it and get frustrated, and then it was just like you have to just sort of like take it from your brain, take it down here, bring it down, bring it out, and just like get it away from you. Like, just get it so far completely away from you to the point that it can't even bother you anymore, because it's just like there's just no point. There's no point. It's obviously it's perfectly fine to feel your emotions, but generally I think sometimes that people who struggle with their emotions, we get fixated on the fact that it feels so permanent in that moment. At least for me, it feels so permanent in that moment. Like it feels like I don't know what to do to like get anything out. That can lead you down some really bad ways and some really dark paths. Like hopefully I am helping at least like one person, and that'll be enough for me. Obviously I would like to help so many people because that's just my thing. Like I just feel like I've struggled with loneliness. Maybe that'll be next week's topic if it's relevant to next week. I don't know. That's the thing. Like just so much of my life changes week by week. Like it's crazy. It's literally so crazy. One week it'll be so fine, and then the next week it just like I don't even know. I don't know. It's truly insane, but I don't think I would have it any other way. I think that's just how it is for me. I think that's how, you know, like it's fine. It's been that way pretty much all my life, so I'm pretty adapted to it right now, you know what I mean? Yeah, overall, genuinely, you just really have to just let emotions be emotion. Like, I think how long does emotions last? And emotions last 90 seconds. I'm going to put that to the test. Next time I feel an emotion, I'm going to put on a timer for 90 seconds. Like, next time I feel angry, I'm going to put on a timer for 90 seconds. And if I'm angry for longer than 90 seconds, I'll be coming right back to this Google post. I don't know, if you're in the same boat as me, then obviously we'll get through it together. And we're learning each day, and we're trying, and we're doing new things, and we're bettering ourselves in every single possibility. I say every single possible way, but whatever, you know what I mean. Yeah, I just really appreciate you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week again here on the floor with Liliosaurus. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment, make sure to like, make sure to share this. Do whatever you want to do for this little podcast. But yeah, like I said, I love you all so much. See you later. Bye.